Alright, and we're back for the final episode of Year 2 for the Challenge Series. And oh my god, is this a door waiting to burst, because after this is finished, there's the CS Arcade Mode, there's the Divisional Prospects, there's the Twisted Invitationals, there's even a fourth series, or fourth championship that's going to run on Assetto Corsa that's only vaguely tied to the Challenge Series, and that it has like three shared characters. And, yeah. But for right now, we have this championship battle between Gina and Ryan. I guess theoretically Darius can get into it too, but he would need to have he would need Gina and Ryan to not do very well on one of these races, and he would have to be able to actually capitalize on it. There's not much more else to discuss. It's pretty straightforward. It's only 1 point between first and second in points, and then 12 between first and third. So let's just go right to Barcelona and not waste much more time. Starting grid for Barcelona, and hopefully the air conditioner that's in the background isn't too invasive. I kind of have to run that, because otherwise the temperature's going to run up to like 83 in this room, and I'd rather not. So yeah, Gina and Ryan only starting 2 spots apart. That could literally be an overtake. That could literally be a pretty easy overtake for Gina anyway if she got a better start. And then Darius is right ahead of them. And then it's a bunch of GT3 cars in the front 4. It'd be something if Riley got another like high finish, considering she starts second again. Well, that's not helping too much, Darius. There goes Gina. And also there goes Ryan. So yeah, really good start for him. Means he's already ahead of Gina and Cam. And Riley, maybe. Maybe not. Looks like not. Yeah, Riley still has a little bit better cornering than the GTE, GTLM, whatever the heck you want to call it, than this P1 does, so... Bit of a mess is taking place. Somebody is off. It's Yoshiro. I'll give you one guess what happens here. Oh, Hyde turns in on Ivan and collects Yoshiro. That is why Hyde's car had so much damage. It got clattered by 4 different vehicles. And Yoshiro could not get it turned straight enough to continue. So yeah, that was Hyde's fault. And, well, he didn't not pay for it, but someone paid for it much harsher than he did. Ivan, who he ran into there, was probably the one that got away with it the cleanest, but that's still kind of relatively speaking. Ryan Wolf has since claimed second from the Corvette driver. You can now only hope to keep the 787s at bay, but I imagine that's not going to be really very easy. As Ryan Wolf goes for the lead up ahead, and Gina will send it on the Corvette. And that pass is made for her. Darius could not follow. Not yet. I'm sure all in due time. Ryan Wolf can't seem to figure out the 3rd sector. Darius sending it through the chicane. That's not exactly a spot I usually see the AI getting racy. And there he goes. And here comes Cam, who smells blood in the water on the Corvette driver. Can he even capitalize? Does he have enough for a run? I think he seems like he certainly will. Ivan Sotokov's joined the fight. However, Riley managed to defend through turns 1 and 2 well enough to keep 5th place for this moment, anyway. Ryan Wolf still struggling to manufacture the overtake that would give him the lead. But now Gina is in the neighborhood, and that's not the kind of mistake you want to be making when your championship rival is right behind you. Apparently still hanging on to 5th here. At this point, I'm taking just as much an interest in how well Riley Blanchard finishes this race than the battle for the points lead between Wolf and Torini. For a brief second, I was like, oh man, Joe Someone's out of the race. And then I remembered that I already knew that. Yoshiro DNF'd, like, the first corner. Directly. Ryan Wolf's going to try it again on the Lotus driver. Here comes Darius on his fellow 77B driver, and there's chaos and pandemonium back here. The Group C's are clashing, and Riley is just kind of running away as Ivan is trying to get around Cam. Lene and Travis Wild are struggling with some other cars, and it's just a bit of a traffic jam back here in the middle field, or middle of the field. Darius has since overtaken Ryan as well, and now he will make his attempt at the lead. If he is to try and get into the points battle, this is an absolutely crucial move to stick. He's going to make himself a factor in these last 3 rounds. That's exactly how he's got to do it. Because of all this fighting up here, Riley is actually sticking with the top 4 a little bit. Imagine what Riley could do if she were driving something other than a Corvette. I mean, she's doing better here than she did in Tier E when the cars were at her level. And that just, like, doesn't make any sense. Hey, no, she's actually keeping up with these lead 4. Well, not anymore. Darius is kind of out of here, but Riley almost seems like she's faster than Isabella Flinger. Mind you, Ryan Wolf also just got by her, but plenty of space for this Corvette to just kind of exist, as Cam is being swallowed by faster vehicles. He's down to 8th. If he can manage to hang on just, a couple more laps, he can score his first points in the championship, but that is a long and arduous journey, it looks like. Ryan is finally clear of Isabella. Gina obviously wants to do the same, and quickly. There goes Dedrick on the R8. Travis passed him down the main straight. He could not get passed by anybody else. He's got Hyde Keto trying to take his point away from him. What's weird is that the R8 is not the worst GT3 car. It's not the best, because the best would either be the Corvette or the Huracan. But it's not the worst. It's not a Z4, it's not an SLS, it's not a GTR. So the fact that Cam is the one that has scored no points, and Hikari, which is in like the second worst GT category vehicle there is, has. Oh, suddenly there goes Eric. Alright, well, now Cam is out of points again. It was laid out for him on the silver platter. He started top 5, and he still could not convert. Meanwhile, Riley, still running 5th. I don't know how much longer that's going to last for, because Lene and Ivan are clear of traffic. But she's only got to hang on for like about a lap and a half. And even if she can't hold on to every position, she's still guaranteed probably like 8th. I don't quite think that all 4 cars can storm past her at once. Eventually, Gina did get around Isabella, so we kind of have our 3 championship contender eggs in the same basket here. Riley is actually catching Isabella, and I want to say, yeah, she's going faster than the 72D. It's just a matter that there's a caution, apparently. Don't know what the heck that's for. Maybe it just, I guess it just never went away from when Yoshiro crashed, because there's nobody else spun. Yeah, I think Riley is the faster driver right now. The problem with that is, that. The top speed. There's nothing Riley can really do about it. So she'll have to settle for 5th either way, I'm pretty sure. Unless she just really catches Isabella off guard. Speaking of off guard, Lene, instead of just sitting behind Ivan and waiting to catch the Corvette, forces the issue. And Ivan remained ahead, so I don't really see what the point was, and that just allowed Travis Wild to have a shot at her. Not much of one, but still a shot. He's going to try again on the C9. Still about even, however, Ivan ran over the curb and nearly lost the car. Does that mean Lene has the position? No, because now Lene is on the curb. And Riley's back there on the Lotus's, not really bumper, like gearbox. But as soon as we reach the back straightaway, nothing. Nothing. Not one stinking thing. And see you later. The difference really isn't even that much, but it's just enough to where she's not really under any threat from the Corvette. Eric is at the last gasp of this race managed to claw his way into the top 10. And then nearly claw himself back out of it. Oh my god, that was asking for a crash. But, well, Darius, having won Barcelona, is doing everything he needs to do if he's gonna try and steal this championship at the last minute. Ryan Wolf a distant P2, which will mean that he'll he'll still be the points leader, basically. Regardless of whether he was behind Gina or ahead. He'll be the points leader either way. I don't actually remember. I think Gina was ahead by 1. Oh, right, not you. Just about business as usual there. Okay, yeah, so Ryan was behind Gina before, and now he's a point ahead. Darius within 8, and pretty much everybody else is out of the running. If Dedrick or Lene won the next 2 races, and Ryan, Wolf, and Gina didn't score any points at all, they would be involved, but that would take a lot of luck. And we move on to Zandvoort to see the next chapter of this battle for the title. Alright, we are on the starting grid for Zandvoort. I almost said Assetto Corsa. I don't know why I was thinking that. The game has placed Ryan Wolf and Gina Turini next to each other again, and it's put Darius in a spot where if the race ended like this, he would be the points leader. Schwartz, I guess, also can close in on those two, but I don't really know if he can make any space up in the 787B from there, due to, you know, starting behind him and whatnot. The game has clearly had enough of Riley's high finishes, and has decided to put her in last. Oh, I guess it has been a while since we've seen some fog, huh? Well, that start not helping matters. Luckily, only Schwartz was able to capitalize. He might take the lead here. Yep. I just noticed that the vehicle that Hyde's driving is the one that Nicky Lauda raced in back when he was like an F1 driver on Ferrari. Interesting line there, Hyde. I'm not really sure if I understand the idea. Wow, Gina just really chucked it in there using the extra cornering. Just showed Ryan right up. Surprise! So Schwartz is the leader. Hyde clinging on to second place over Sorel, whose name I mistyped again, and I just remember that I did. I've heard reports that Darius might also even be retiring at the end of this particular Challenge Series year. Could certainly be a shocking revelation. Considering he's obviously not losing any speed, he's competing for the championship right now. He could very easily be the points leader, no less, at the end of this race. So apparently, so Gina is working her way through the field. She got ahead of Cam. She's working on Taniguchi. I mean, it's a GT3 car. That pass shouldn't be that difficult. But Ryan Wolf is not adapting too well to this track. He's passed Cam, but so is everybody else. Literally anybody could pass that car. But R8's not really apparently much of a factor in this tier, and I'm sure everyone in the Challenge Series is going to have learned that by the end of this, that it is not competitive in Tier S for whatever reason. I don't know how everything else in this tier is competing, but that's not. I don't want to say it's the driver, but I can't think of any other probable reason why Cameron just cannot manufacture any points. So Darius has taken the second away from Hyde, and Travis has also followed him through. Darius now is also on the rear wing of Schwartz. This would be a crucial overtake, as it not only would, obviously score Darius even more points, give him more of a chance of being the points leader at the end of this race, but it would also deny Schwartz, anybody that isn't him, Gina, or Ryan Wolf, any shot of winning the championship. Like, more or less. I mean, mathematically, no, but realistically speaking, if Schwartz doesn't win this race, there's no chance. Darius has taken the lead away. The leaderboard is all kinds of confused over there. Gina's running 5th. Ryan has only made his way to 8th, having passed the GTR, I think. And considering it's the other McLaren P1 of Lene ahead of him, I don't really know how much higher he's going to be able to get in the next 3 laps. But probably not too much, I would have to guess myself. It's also not impossible. He might just straight up get passed by Eric Wachowski here if he doesn't get on with it. Eric catches him off guard a little bit. I think the FXXK has a small advantage just being lighter. It also has better short-range acceleration, even if the P1 does have better top speed. You're not really going to be getting near that top speed at this track because there's only one straightaway. Wild has still not made any kind of attempt at taking that spot away from the other Porsche driver. That's a lot of turbo coming off the 962. Travis will finish the move due to Dedrick running over some curves. Taylor is attempting to defend from Ryan Wolf. She just got passed by Lene, but she's managed to keep the McLaren behind. For this lap at least. That's a terrible corner from Wolf. And Eric might just sneak his way through. Following that error, that's not helping Ryan's case too much. Meanwhile, as Gina has advanced to 4th, even passing Hyde at this point. However, it would take quite a pretty fast lap for Gina to get to Schwartz in time to make any sort of attempt at taking 3rd away on the final lap. I do not think that she'll be close enough at the end of this lap. because the differences in performance between that 911 GT1 and this car are marginal at best. Somehow, some way, there's a battle for 14th that I've just happened to accidentally tune in on. Riley has just overtaken the MC12, or defended from, actually, not overtaken. Alright, well, 9th place it is, I think, in the case of Ryan Wolf. Eric is going to go ahead and send it on the Huracan, but he's not going to get anywhere close to making that stick. He was like 3/4 of a second behind. I'm not really sure what he expected to do other than maybe scare Taylor into thinking he was going to get there, but there was no realistic way that could happen, I don't think. Certainly no safe way for that to happen, since he was so far behind. Meanwhile, Sodakov is getting really close to Ryan Wolf to put him down yet another place. However, I don't think he's really got a chance. He'd probably do it at the end of the race, after the finish, after we've crossed the finish line, but besides that, I don't think he's going to take the opportunity fast enough. I don't think the opportunity is going to be there soon enough, rather. Rounding the final turn here at Zandvoort. Darius will win the race, but because Gina has managed to make her way to 4th, and almost a 3rd for that matter, if there was another lap, she'd certainly be 3rd. I don't think he's going to be the points leader. I think it's going to be a tie, or Gina's still going to be 1 ahead. Ryan Wolf was a non-factor at this race, coming home with a measly 9th place, putting him at a massive deficit to his championship rivals. It is indeed a tie at 95 points apiece for Gina and for Darius. Nobody else can even win it besides those 3, unless Dedrick literally gets both race wins from here on. And even then, all it would take is somebody else getting like 6th place and he'd be done for anyway. So I guess we'll head into Laguna Seca. Will certainly give Riley a home track advantage for what that means for her. I don't really know. As somebody who lives, or at least was born in California, born in Long Beach, I believe. I don't quite remember. I guess technicality, it also would be, because it's an American track, it would also go to Darius and Travis and to Taylor and Cam and Isabella, who are all from America as well, but I don't really know. Since Riley is literally from California, Darius from Florida, Travis also from Florida, Isabella from Georgia, and Taylor and Cam from the East Coast. Not quite the same as it would be for Riley, who grew up like about, tens of miles away from this racetrack. Alright, we're on the starting grid for Laguna Seca, and the starting grid's not really been kind to any of the championship fighters. Gina's the only one that starts in the top 10, literally 10th, and Darius is pretty much in a no-point situation right there, so he just needs to hope that Gina doesn't make too much progress. Luckily, it's Laguna Seca. It's kind of hard to do that, so maybe he has hope. Why are we in this camera? What in the heck? I'll just put the camera at the front for the start, because nobody of importance is at the front. Gina didn't really get anywhere off the line. As a matter of fact, I thought Ryan was actually going to try and pass her just there, but he didn't get a chance. Role reversal, Ryan Wolf is actually the one maybe getting past, if he doesn't watch it. I think he's going to stay ahead of the 911 now. And likewise, Gina made zero progress on the P1 ahead of her. Does Ryan have the top speed to send it here? Or the nerve, for that matter. Linnae tries to send it on Cam ahead of these two, but also gets nowhere because, again, Laguna Seca. Well, this is awfully bold. Yep, that was never going to work. Well, I mean, Gina kept her on the road, I guess. So there's that. And Wolf is crucially going to put a car between himself and Gina after that, too, by passing Cam down that straightaway. And I guess you gotta be an opportunist if you're going to make any room here. Well, Riley is maybe using that home track advantage, and she's up to third. Travis is currently your leader. Taylor has not had the greatest start, if I'm honest. Running fifth. Hyde is right there with the Corvette driver. Gina's going to take 10th away from Cam. And Ryan is going to just about save the car after running into the MC-12 ahead. That was almost a critical failure right there. Like, just hang on to it and take these points. You don't need many more. Not here. Work on that in the last race. You got Darius dead to right, so I guess, alright, forget it. Fine. Pass Yoshiro, whatever. It's your funeral. Anyway, he's gonna get it done anyway, apparently. Is he gonna try for the GTR too? No. No, now is where you do it. Now is the braking zone. Not quite like that. Gina also about sent it on him, and that might get her the position on him, actually. Everyone's racing a little bit argy-bargy here at Laguna Seca. Yeah? Well, Gina definitely took the opportunity and went with it. Alright, well, that's made Ryan's life a lot harder. There's only in a mere 11th place. He's gonna send it on the MC-12 to try and make that 10th place. Top speed difference is jarring. Gina also put Hikari between the two this time. Another obstacle to overcome. Linnae passed Taylor somewhere along the way, I guess. Cam is running last after starting, sixth. Oh my lord, Gina! Alright, just send her to the junkyard, why don't you? And that's really disallowed Ryan to get back into this, and that's really disallowed anybody to get any points. Other than the ones that they're already in. Yeah, that's one of my next bits. Just sacrifice the Lamborghini. There it is, just now right behind the P1. Darius really needs to make this pass if he is to have a good shot in the final race to win the championship. Riley is still hanging on to that third place. Somehow. Well, probably helped by the track wrap. Both home track advantage and difficulty of passing advantage at play here, I suppose. Both probably helping. Lene is nearby. Not yet an immediate threat up there, though. Does Darius send it through the corkscrew? I don't think he can. He about locked it up. He about sent himself through the corkscrew instead. Not really the ideal alternative, I'll be honest with you. Gina has caught Lene. And Lene has caught Hyde and Riley. 2 laps to go here in the penultimate race of Laguna Seca. Darius still nowhere near making a pass on Ryan Wolf. Horsepower difference, I think, is just enough to keep Ryan Wolf ahead. Even as he got a really good exit there, it does not matter because the McLaren has just a little bit more top speed. Well, see you later, Hyde. That's the sand trap. That's usually not good for race cars. He's going to interfere with this battle for 7. In what way, though? Not by much. Not much way. Gina got ahead of Lene in that scuffle as well. And he's going to have a lap 2 to try and pass Riley for the podium position. I think so she'd make the pass normally, or she'd have to run her off the road for it. I think it's going to be the former. Nope, not enough space, I guess. Lene, that's not advised. Darius once again with a run out of turn 1. Doesn't matter. That straight wasn't even long enough to think about it anyway. Okay, I think here's where Riley's goose might be cooked, so. Oh yeah. All the defensive driving in the world can't keep that from happening. Lene, I'm not sure what you were thinking would happen there. Exiting the last corner, Travis Wild is going to win a pretty business-as-usual affair for the Porsche driver. Eric takes P2. Riley does not maintain the podium, but still 4th place in the Corvette. And Gina will have a pretty hefty advantage going into the final race. I think that'll be like a 3-point advantage. Or, what? Like a 7-point advantage. And like a 10-point advantage over Ryan Wolf. I don't really think he has much of a chance, if I'm honest. It's an 11-point advantage over Ryan Wolf, in fact, and a 7-point advantage over Darius. Oh my god. Alright, well. One more race to go in year 2 of the Challenge Series, the Nürburgring GP circuit. Between Gino Turini, Darius Burrell, and Ryan Wolf, who will emerge as the champion? Let's just find out, I guess. Oh, you're on the starting grid for the finale here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. It appears that Ryan Wolf may be a non-factor, but Gina's got a bit of work to do, if she is to catch Darius and take the title from him. As it stood right now, Darius would be your champion by 3. If Gina gets to 4th place, it's a tie. If Gina gets a podium, Darius can do nothing. So that's basically the order of the day. Gina's race to the podium. Not even the win, just 3rd. Timing 100. Well, Gina got off the line fine, unfortunately. So did Eric and Ryan, who are taking her 3 wide with their superior power figure. Gina runs into Ryan at 27 miles an hour. I'm no longer in my party due to a network error, but it literally doesn't matter because it doesn't make a difference. Darius got off fine. He is the leader. Gina has garnered more work for herself, although she's done half of it. She's passed the P1 back. I said she's passed the P1 back. Maybe not. I guess not. Ryan Wolf will not go quietly into the night. Or evening. Eric isn't really giving him a choice. Eric almost runs Taniguchi out of space. And Eric has declared himself to be out of here. Ryan will try and follow through the Schumacher S's. Not really a passing zone, I'll be honest. That corner can be, as long as you don't take it terribly. And Gina will not make up any ground right here because this is a straightaway and she's racing the McLaren P1. She will, however, pass Ikari with pretty relative ease. Ikari will do nothing to prolong the issue and just let them continue on with their day. No real competition for Darius right now. He's just doing his job up here in the lead. Lene multiple seconds behind. High defending 4th from Eric Lazdowski, who he manages to successfully do so. Alright, well, we have certainly stagnated just a little bit here so far. After the first set of corners, pretty much it's all kind of spread out to where things are naturally just going to kind of be, it seems. I think Darius has this one locked up pretty tight, as Gina can't even get around Ryan Wolf. So apparently this is my incorrect assumption that Ryan Wolf would, quote, not be a factor in this race, and no, he's a factor, alright. He's a pretty big factor. And not even that, but not only that, but Travis Wild also running right behind Gina. He may capitalize too if Gina's really off pace. The top 3 are so distant. There's no some Darius in what may very well be his final championship in the Challenge Series is looking set to win the championship after winning 3 straight races, or 3 races in 4. What? 3 out of 4 races. There, that is what I'm looking for. Oh my god, was that hard, Raikkonen? The only race he did not win is he did not win Laguna Seca. He only got like 11th there. No, wait, what am I talking about? He got like 8th. But he won the other 3 races in this episode. And yes, I am kind of presumptuously saying that he's won this race because, I mean, look at it. You're gonna tell me he hasn't? He's got like a 5-6 second lead over Linnaeus. Gina's still struggling to get around anybody. Not even just Ryan Wolf at this point, but Wojciechowski and Hito are ahead, and she can't do anything about them either. Apparently, neither can Wolf. Wojciechowski can do anything about the Ferrari ahead of him. Just a Congo line. Apparently somebody hit a cone right there. I'm sure that would have been. Louis now is up to almost 6 seconds for Darius. Bit of a nudge from Wojciechowski. Wolf can't capitalize on their butchered exits through 1. Gina's actually falling behind at this point. And Sodakov really had her poor last one, the previous lap. Here comes Eric for another shot at the 312. And sufficient running over of the curb means that finally Eric Wojciechowski will move on. And into 4th place over the other Ferrari driver. And Ryan Wolf follows suit. Not yet, apparently. Sodakov may be under threat here too once we get back to the main straightaway. Oh god, where'd that come from? I was not ready for that. 2 laps to go in Gear 2 of the Challenge Series. And 7-second lead. Linnaeus has a 10-second lead over Sodakov, who's about to be overtaken by Eric, who, despite overtaking Hyde in this lap, still ran his fastest lap of the race. Ryan Wolf has overtaken the 312. Can Gina overtaken? And salvage that in this failed opportunity, which honestly, the way that she was driving in Laguna Seca, maybe she kind of deserves that. Like some sort of like karmic time penalty for running Taylor off the track at Laguna Seca. Which I'm not going to say that that was the only reason that Gina finished as well as she did, but it certainly helped. Gina with no effort to overtake Hyde at this moment. I mean, at this point, you may as well take your time. You're clearly not going to get any higher. Better wait for the best opportunity to take the position away and not put yourself at risk to the 962 behind you. I guess. trying to level with her here, I guess. Well, it's not getting me super far. Eric has just run Ryan Wolf off the track in the chicane, and nothing is happening. Nobody decides to go for anything. It's the final lap, and Lene 9 seconds behind. Wolf just about ran into Wojciechowski. Gina with apparently a bit of damage all of a sudden, still unable to pass 312. I think the show's pretty much over here. And as Darius Spirell heads up to the final chicane, assuming Gina hasn't performed some astronomical miracle in the back row, she's gotten ahead of Hyde, maybe. I don't know what that's worth. I mean, that's worth like a couple, 1 or 2 points. That's what that's worth. But, Darius Farrell is your winner, and I believe probably your champion as well. And 10.5-second victory certainly sends a message. Ivan Sodakov will come out of the last turn and he will complete the podium. Ryan Wolf places 5th. Gina with 7th, wait, 6th, right past Hyde. Gina with 6th, and a very large missed opportunity. And speaking of missed opportunities, Cam Walker will manage to have scored 0 points in this championship, despite being in a car in technically the same category as Riley, who scored like 20-some. And so it is, there it is. Darius Spirell is your Tier S champion by 3 points. And, yeah, Cam scored nothing. Hikari scored 3. Taylor 10, Yoshiro 13. Isabella 22, Hyde 28. Riley managed 30 points in the Corvette GTE in a category with Group C's and hypercars, and even a couple of old Formula 1 cars with Hyde and Isabella, both of whom she also beat. And then there's the very clear divide in the class between her and the top 8 being the Group C's and the hypercars. And then Schwartz is just kind of there in this GT1, which about the same performance level as a Group C, but just more you know, like well balanced. Loses a bit of power, better cornering. But clearly the power is crucial based on the top 5 of the standings. So yeah, that'll do it for the second year of the Challenge Series. Soon enough, we'll see Twisted Invitational episodes. There'll be a few. I don't know exactly how many. Probably 3 or 5 in between each season. And there may be 1 or 2 in between each tier. I don't really know how exactly that's going to work, how often I'll do them. They may just be intermittent. They may just be whenever I feel like it. But there will be a few in the off-season. Year 3 will begin basically as soon as the divisional prospects are completed. And I would say 3, maybe 4 of the Twisted Invitational episodes have been made. So I would estimate end of the month, probably. Near the end of the month, at least. But yeah, until then, goodbye.